Hello friends, today we are going to learn about arsenic album, drug picture of arsenic album. Common name white oxide of arsenic, formula As2O3, prover Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Sphere of action, arsalt mainly acts on alimentary canal, respiratory system, skin and mucous membranes. First, let's learn about the mind of arsenic. Anxiety, restlessness, prostration, and cadaveric appearance. These are the four main mental symptoms present in arsal. There is constant anxiety in the patient, which is changed into restlessness. Later, the restlessness is changed to prostration, where due to prostration there is delirium, even insanity and disturbance of intellect and will. Slowly, the patient goes into cadaveric state, where the look of the patient, the odor from him, almost everything seems to be cadaveric in nature. It is important to note when a arsal patient comes to you, he may be at any stage. He may be at anxiety stage, at restlessness stage, or prostatic stage, or cadaveric stage. You should point out which state the patient is. Now, let's see about the anxiety of arsal patient. The dictionary meaning of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. In arsal, the anxiety is intermingled with impulses with suicidal inclinations. Sadness prevails to great extent and is full of suicidal thoughts. Next, coming to restlessness of arsenic album. Restlessness is mostly in mind. It is mostly mental restlessness than the physical restlessness. If the patient is able to move, he moves from place to place, from one bed to the other, and when thoroughly exhausted, he gets back to the bed. If the patient is not able to move, he still tosses in bed from side to side because the restlessness is still present in mind. Coming to prostration. Prostration slowly takes place of anxiety and restlessness, and now he appears like a cadaver. The surface of the body is pale, cold, clammy, and sweating. The mental anxious and restlessness take the form of delirium, even the insanity and disturbances of intellect and will. This we have already discussed. He thinks he may die. This dread of death is seen when alone at night. He thinks that the disease is incurable and he is going to die for sure. Dr. Kent gives us an example to emphasize the point. So, Dr. Kent once went to the bedside of a typhoid patient. The patient was able to talk and he looked up at Dr. Kent and said, "There is no use of your coming. I am going to die. You might as well go home. My whole insides are mortifying." Further, Dr. Kent saw patient's friend giving him few drops of water, just enough to wet his mouth. and the patient was asking him very often but only for few drops. These two conditions made Dr. Ken to prescribe Arsal and he was cured. So as we already started talking about thirst here, let's go and learn about thirst of Arsal. The thirst of Arsal is different in different conditions. In acute conditions, the thirst of Arsal is, it may be thirst for icy cold water only enough to moisten the mouth, or it can be thirst for large quantities, unquenchable thirst. But in chronic conditions of Arsal, he is always thirstless. So the patient can be in any of these thirst conditions. One of the peculiar features of mentals of arsenic is that he is extremely fastidious. So coming to the appearance of Arsal, one can identify the arsenic personality from his appearance. The face of the arsenic patient is cleanly shaved. If he keeps a beard or a mustache, it is always in perfect shape, cut properly. The hair is combed neatly. The persons are well dressed. The shoes are well polished. Let's look at some features of fastidiousness. The arsenicum lady dislikes dust anywhere in the room. She is not satisfied with the servants' work. They will go themselves clean every corner of the room even after the servant has completed the task. Contact of mud or sand in the shoes make the arsenic man anxious until the shoes are clean. The arsenicum children, according to Dr. D. M. Borland, are inordinately tidy. The little boys, if they break up their toys, they clean the floor and put away the broken parts. The little girls keep their dolls in an astonishingly tidy condition. The children get upset if they spill jelly, sauce, juice in their dresses while eating. Let's now see the fastidiousness in diseased state. The arsenic personality likes to be in neat and clean surroundings. He wants everything in perfect order, which is reflected strongly even in his diseased condition. The patient, even in a prostrated state, keeps on complaining if his bed covers are dirty and wants them to be changed at the earliest. Dr. Ken says, arsenicum patients are sensitive to disorder and confusion. They are in great distress if the things are misplaced, so they want everything in order. Let's see some physical generals of arsal. First one is burning. Burning is the most marked general of arsal. There is burning everywhere. Burning in head, burning in stomach, burning in bladder, in vagina, in lungs. There is burning in throat and burning in all the mucous membranes. Acrid secretions. The secretions and excretions of arsal are acrid. They excoriate the parts causing burning. The odor of these discharges is putrid, which means decaying or rotting and emitting a fetid smell. Next physical generality of or next common symptom of arsal is bleeding. The patient bleeds easily and may bleed from any place. There is vomiting of blood, bleeding from lungs and throat, anywhere that mucous membranes exist. Arsalb is a chilly patient. Let's see how chilly he is. Coming to modalities, aggravation from midnight 1 to 2 a.m. or p.m. from cold drinks or food. Amelioration from wrapping up and warmth in general, from heat in general, except head. This is very, very important in Arsal. He is basically chilly patient except head. Let's see about head. So even in the head, the modalities are different. So for the inner head complaints like pulsations, burning inside the head with feeling head would burst out, congestive type of headache. For these types of inner complaints of the head, he is ameliorated from cold application and in cool open air. But for rheumatic state which affects the scalp and the outer nerves, he is ameliorated by heat. So even in the head complaints, Arsab shows us two different modalities. So inner complaints of the heads are ameliorated from cold and outer complaints of the head are ameliorated by heat. Let's see about headaches. Headaches have a striking periodicity. Headaches occur every other day or third or fourth or seventh or 14th day. The more chronic the complaints, the longer is its cycle, aggravated by motion and noise, ameliorated from lying down, lying with head on two pillows. They come with restlessness, forcing him to move. Most of the headaches are attended with nausea and vomiting. Coming to the gastrointestinal symptoms. In arsenic album, when it comes to stomach, we find everything that may be called as gastritis and gastroenteritis. The whole esophagus is in a state of inflammation. Everything burns that comes up or goes down. Vomiting of everything, even a teaspoonful of water, extreme irritation of the stomach with great prostration. The stomach does not seem to tolerate because it cannot assimilate cold water, lies like a stone in the stomach. It is wanted, but he cannot or dare not to drink it. Extreme sensitiveness of the stomach is present. He does not want to be touched. Heat applied externally relieves and there is temporary relief from warm drinks. Sometimes dysenteric in character with dreadful straining and burning of anus. Every stool burns as though there were coals of fire in the rectum. The tympanic condition. Gastric derangement after cold fruits, ice cream, ice water, sour beer, bad sausage, alcoholic drinks and strong cheese. Ours should in general be thought of in ailments from chewing tobacco, alcoholism, sausage poisoning, diarrhea after eating or drinking. Stool is scanty, dark colored and offensive. Whether the stool is small or large, it is followed by great prostration. Hemorrhoids with stitching pain aggravated by walking or sitting. The hemorrhoids of Arsal are not aggravated at stool. They are aggravated while walking or sitting as if they prevent sitting or sleep. Burning pain aggravated by heat. Fishes make voiding or passing of urine difficult. Respiratory symptoms of arsal. The arsenic patient is always taking cold easily, always sneezing from every change in the weather. Thin excoriating discharge from the nose. Later the nose feels stooped up with fluent coryza. He is always chilly and suffers from drafts. He is worse in cold damp weather, always freezing chilled through. The cold begins in the nose and goes down into the throat, very often causing hoarseness with dry, tickling, hard, rasping cough. Cold then travels into the lower respiratory tract. In the lower respiratory tract, it causes asthmatic conditions. Breathing is asthmatic with wheezings. Must sit or bend forward. Unable to lie down for the fear of suffocation. Coming to the skin symptoms of arsal, skin is dry and scaly or wrinkled with cold, clammy sweat. Arsenic is very useful medicine in the eruptions of the genitals with burning. The skin burns with itching and he scratches until the skin is raw and then it burns again. Even when they are syphilitic, herpetic vesicles that appear on the foreskin and upon the labia. Chancre or chancroid with burning, smarting and stinging, especially in those who are weak that offer no willingness to heal. Ulcers with offensive discharges which are acrid and excoriating. Ailments from sea bathing, dissecting wounds, anthrax poisoning and stings of venous insects. Dropsy of arsal. Anasarca means severe generalized form of edema. Arsenicum is full of puffiness and dropsy. It has edematous conditions of the extremities, dropsy of the shut sacs or the cavities, swelling of the face so that it beats upon pressure. Its swelling is mostly related to lower eyelid. Bleeding tendency. The patient bleeds easily and may bleed from any place. Coming to the fever, periodicity is marked in fever. So periodicity is the standard of arsal. It is marked in fever and it is also marked in headache. So what type of fevers can we treat with arsal? Septic fevers, intermittent fevers and typhoid fevers with severe prostration. In intermittent fever, the heat stage, the sweat stage, the chilly stage. These stages are different from each other. So in heat stage, thirst increases because he has dry mouth. He drinks little and often just to wet his mouth. In sweat stage, there is copious thirst for cold water. In chilly stage, great thirst is present, but he is aversion to cool drink because he is in a chilly state. So can only take warm drinks. In every stage, there is marked severe prostration and restlessness. Coming to the modalities, aggravation. After midnight, 1 to 2 a.m. or p.m. from cold drinks or food, while lying on the affected side or with the head low, ameliorated from heat in general excepting headache. Thank you. So this was the Drug Picture of Arsenic album.